Look, this Embiid thing that has come out now. So I was having, tell me what you think about this. I was having this thought yesterday.
You have thoughts?
Yeah. So there was one part of me that was like, look, you have to keep coming up with reasons as to why he can't play. Because you can't get fined. And they want him playing, right? Like the whole idea is we want our stars playing in the NBA. And they've already gotten into a situation where they were so incredibly vague that you end up getting fined. And so now, though he has not sustained an injury, and it was very clear at the very beginning, and obviously something that probably pissed off Adam Silver and certainly pissed off a lot of former players, that whole he's not going to play back-to-backs. And so we knew that the stage was set at the beginning of the season. He is out. Why is he out? What did he do? What happened? Did he get injured? Like, what's the deal here? Like, typically what you have is injury, diagnosis, rehab, return, right? That's the timeline. Obviously, none of those timelines apply to Joel Embiid. And so here is my thought. Okay?
All right, I'm in.
Option one is you just have to keep on coming up with stuff. So it was the foot, and now it's the knee, and he's dealing with swelling, and that's why he cannot play basketball. Okay. Is it that you're just going to keep on coming up with things in order to have a reason that you can't be fined? Nobody can say anything about this. The knee is swelling. That's the end of that. You can't call us BS on this. And we're really just going to keep on coming up with things throughout the entire season. I don't want to say playing possum, but the whole thing is the only thing that matters is the end. And so we are going to keep on coming up with things, hopefully win enough games to be able to get to that moment, not play him, and save him. Basically, this is the way to keep him in quasi bubble wrap, as many people have thought, until we get to the playoffs. And so you keep on saying things. Or option two, bro, the cartilage is done. We should pay attention to this. He can't play basketball anymore on a regular basis. And it's done. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is. I should have listened. I dealt with this years ago when the Grizzlies paid $90-something million to Chandler Parsons. I was covering that team. His knees were shot. Now, Chandler is friends with Joel Embiid, and Chandler's on that show with Michelle Beadle, and I brought up to you a couple of months ago. You better listen when Chandler Parsons talks about what's going on, and he's talking about just shutting him down. Like, because he knows better than everyone. When it's done, right? Like, you can play, but it's going to just swell up every time. And so the idea is, which are you more likely to believe? It's not as bad, but the Sixers have to just keep on trying to come up with new things that make you feel like it's worse and worse and worse, so that they can try to get whatever the best version of he is available for a play-in game and then the playoffs. Or is it more likely number two, which is he's shot? Because there's no injury, Jacoby, right? Like,
no, there's an injury. There's no injury reported. But if he's not playing because his knee is swelling, that is because his knee is injured. Right? And I would say that
But that's never ending. That's a never ending injury. That's an ailment.
Oh, yeah. I don't have the medical expertise to sort of, from like an expert's point of view, advise the Sixers on how they would handle this. But I will say this. They ran a playbook similar to this in Los Angeles with the Clippers last year with Kawhi. Mm-hmm. They said, you know what's important? The postseason. You know what's not important? The regular season. We're going to rest him. We know that he's often injured. We know that he has these lingering knee problems that flare up over time after he's sort of played a lot of basketball. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to have him in prime condition for the playoffs. We're going to rest him in the months leading up to the playoffs. That is the strategy. That is what's going to get us 2 months off of Kawhi. Will get us the 2 months on to Kawhi. That will get us the first Clippers championship in the history of the franchise. And how did that work out? He played 2 games, didn't really get hurt, but decided that he was going to shut it down for the rest of the season. And I don't see it being any different with Joel Embiid. If you have Joel Embiid and he is good enough to play, just play him. The only way to play a lot of basketball is to play a lot of basketball. I do not believe that sitting him down or shutting him down for the season and looking towards next season is an answer to any of these problems. I think this is the player that he is. You are locked into a long-term, extremely expensive, multiple $100 million contract with him. Get the most basketball out of him possible. You will never see MVP Joel Embiid again. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am.
You don't think there's any chance. You think he actually is swelling up all of the time and cannot play basketball. You don't think this is we're playing possum.
No, I don't. And again,
Okay.
like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't have the
got
knee
you.
expertise. But I will say this is, I don't think there's another season like we had from Embiid 2 years ago when he won the MVP. I do not. I think that Embiid is gone. And if it's not the left knee swelling, it's something else. What was it? The calf or the ankle a couple weeks ago? It's something else, or he breaks a face. Like he's just sort of he's just injury riddled.
And you're now to the point where it's really, you're keeping an eye. If you're Sixers fan, this is something that is unfathomable when you come into the season.
Oh, say it.
You're looking at the Bulls. No, it's like the Bulls because look, you're not falling farther than 11. Everybody past 11 has
Nets,
no
Hornets,
interest
Raptors, Wizards. Yeah, they're not.
They have no
trying
interest
to win.
in winning.
They're actively
right?
trying to lose games.
It's really, are the Bulls gonna keep doing this and end up trying to get the play in? Like, never in a million years would you think like, hey, we need to kind of keep track of what the Bulls are doing. If you're the
Bulls
76ers.
accidentally beat the Clippers last night.
Well, they were without Zubats and Kawhi, so
yeah.
But no, it's crazy. But I mean, look, depending on what happens with the Bulls, 10 then becomes the floor. If the Bulls decide to, they decide which direction they're going to go, right? Get better or get worse or stay the same, I guess, and just be intensely mediocre. We will see as these next 3 weeks unfold, as they head to the trade deadline. People have expected them to be sellers for a long time and that Levine would be on a different team and whatever else. But, there's part of me that was thinking, like, are they just going to say, hey, we'll take our chances at getting that play in, right? Like, the Philly has no chance at getting to 6. So it's a play-in situation, and they probably don't have a chance of getting to a home court in the play-in. So it's like, we feel like we can play our way into this. But obviously you got to get to 10 first.
You got to get to 10. You got to win 2 games. But that being said, I'm a Knicks fan. That was a tough out in the first round last year.
Yeah.
If they've got Paul George and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, they're going 6 games with whoever they play in the first round. Whoever they play.
Well, and their record, when they have all 3 and they all 3 finish the game, is outstanding. The issue is it never happens.
Mm-hmm.
They never all 3 play and finish the game.
7 times. It happens 7 or 8 times.
And they're 6-1.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a very depressing season for the Sixers and Sixers fans, but I still wouldn't count them out. They're still a really tough out. If you look at the other teams that are currently in the play-in right now, Magic, Heat, Pistons, Bulls, Sixers. A healthy Magic, I would say, is the hardest team to beat in a 7-game series, and the Sixers are right there with them.